Hello everyone, thank you for joining the Mitel 6900 phone training video. Up on the screen right now, you're looking at the Mitel 6930. There are different variations of this phone, but the biggest difference between the phone models is in the middle of the screen and the amount of features that you're able to program. This specific version, you're able to program 72 keys. Other models, the 6920, you're able to program 18, and the 6940, you're able to program 96. The features we're going to talk about today are the same on each of the devices. You will notice at the bottom of the screen here where it says activate. When your phone is installed, the first thing you need to do is you need to log an extension into the device. So what you would do is you would press the activate button. Once you press the activate button, it's going to ask you for two bits of information. The first thing that it's going to ask you for is your extension number. So you're going to enter that in on the keypad. The second thing it will ask you for is your PIN number. Now, where do you get the PIN number? The PIN number is something that you're able to create on your own if you have access to the My Office Suite portal, or if you do not have access, your administrative personnel will be able to supply that PIN number for you. Once those credentials are entered and you press activate a second time, it's going to log the credentials into that device. So in the middle here of the screen, you're going to see your extension number and you're going to see the name associated with it. Below that, you're going to see what we call the soft keys, and the soft keys will change as you do specific things with the phone. So while the phone is idle, the two options you will have are redial and log out. Redial will dial the last person to whom you spoke with. So as soon as you hit redial, it automatically dials that number. Log out, which is here, allows you to log the extension out of the phone and log another extension in. Why possibly would you do this? If you are working at your desk and you have to go down to the file room, spend an extended amount of time in the file room, you can log the file room extension out of that phone. You can log your extension in, and now you will have all of your credentials available for you, just as if you were sitting at your desk. This is what we call hot desking, where you move from one phone to another. Now, anytime that you are dialing out, if you're dialing a coworker, you're going to dial an extension. If you're dialing an outside number, and this goes anytime you dial an outside number, you're going to use 91, the area code, and 7-digit number. So whenever you dial externally, it's 91, the area code, and 7-digit number. It'll automatically start dialing the person. Now, whether it's an inbound or outbound call, it's always going to try to reach the top line first. And as soon as you're connected with the caller, you're going to see here a little light next to the line button, which will tell you when it is active. It will show you the caller information of who you're connected with, and then it will also have a running timer beneath the date and time. When you're on a call, you will notice that the soft keys do change. They're now listed as transfer, conference, and end when you're in an active call. If you're looking to transfer a call to someone, you have the ability to do what we call a warm transfer versus a cold transfer. The warm transfer is where you actually speak with the person first before you send the call to them. In that situation, you would press transfer. You would then enter in the extension if you're transferring it to a coworker, or you may enter in an outside phone number. Again, if it's an outside number, same rules apply, 91, the area code, and 7-digit number. Once you enter that information, it will dial that coworker. As soon as they pick up, you're able to speak with them one-on-one. And when you're ready to, you can hit the transfer button and it will automatically send the call to that person. And now those individuals are connected together. So that is what we call the warm transfer, where you speak with the person before you send the call. Now I'm going to gain an active line once again here, and I'm going to talk about the cold transfer, which is just you sending the call without letting the person know that the call is coming to them. In that circumstance, you would press transfer, you would enter the coworker's extension or outside number of who you want to transfer the call to. And then as soon as you enter that information, you're going to hit transfer right away, and it will send the caller to the person without letting them know that the call is coming through. So that warm and cold technique is all based on your preference and how you want to handle the conversations. Now, also, while you're actively engaged on a call, conference will be another option that's available. Conference will allow you to have up to and including 10 participants connected on a call. So yourself and 9 others may be connected. When you're looking to add a coworker or add an outside contact to the conference, you're going to press the conference button. You're going to enter in the extension or the outside phone number of the person you would like to conference in. It will then call them so you can speak with them one-on-one, but as soon as you're ready to add them into the call, you're going to press the conference button again, and now you will see that it says three-way call. And to add other participants, you're going to follow that same routine by hitting conference, entering in the extension or outside number, and then pressing conference again, and then it'll say four-way call, five-way call, all the way up until the 10 max that's allowed. The last soft key that you will see while the phone is actively in use is the end button, and the end button is just another way to end the call with the person you're currently connected to. So with the conferencing that is up on the screen, if you would press end, it would end the call for yourself, but it would keep the other individuals connected together at that point in time. Couple other areas on the screen that we want to focus on are the programmable keys, as we mentioned when we first started. So you will be started out with 3 line appearances, and then there's some other default features that we used to get started. That way your screen is not completely blank, but if you have access to the My Office Suite portal, you can change them on an individual level, or an administrative level will be able to adjust and lock them for you. Just to go over some of those features, and we'll start with the line appearances. Anytime a call comes in or you make an outbound call, it's always going to use the top line or try to reach the top line first and then work its way down. A little light will show when you're actively using that line appearance. When you're actively engaged on a call, the little phone icon will be in light blue. If you have a call on hold, it will have a yellow button with a pause, so you'll be able to see that. And then if it's available, it will be green. Other features that we start you with include park retrieve. Park retrieve allows you to park a call, and then you may retrieve that call from any of the phones. How it works is when you press park retrieve while on an active call, a number is identified in the middle of the screen, letting you know where the call has been parked. With that number, you or someone else may go to any phone, press park retrieve on that device, enter that number in on the keypad, and now you're connected with the caller. So again, with park retrieve, you're parking a call. A number displays on the phone indicating where the call has been parked. With that number, you or someone else may go to any phone, press park retrieve, enter that number in, and you're now connected with the caller on that device. Page will allow you to send a one-way message through the loudspeaker of all the phones at your location that are not being used. Anyone that is involved in a conversation would not be bothered by the page, but it does indicate or send a message through the loudspeaker of the phones that are not in use. Intercom allows you to send a message through the loudspeaker of one other phone, and then that person has the ability to pick up the conversation by grabbing the handset or hitting the speakerphone button. So if you're sending an intercom, you press the intercom button, put in the person's extension. If they're on the phone, it will let you know that it will not allow them to send the message through the loudspeaker. But if they are available, it will go through the loudspeaker and they can continue the conversation by either picking up the handset or hitting the speakerphone button. And the speakerphone button is all the way at the bottom right of the phone device. Two other features that are available that are defaultly programmed are forwarding features, which allow you to forward your direct calls to a specific location. That first one is forward to prompt, where it allows you to enter in exactly where you want to forward your direct calls to. So when you press forward to prompt, you can enter the extension or outside phone number in on the keypad. Just a reminder, if it's an outside number, 91, the area code, and 7-digit number. Once you put in place that information, you will be able to turn the feature on by pressing forwarding on as a soft key, and now that feature would be active. Anytime someone would call your extension, instead of the phone ringing, it will just forward the call to the number you entered on the keypad. Now, when you get back to the office and you would like to turn this feature off, you just press the forward to prompt button. Again, one of the soft keys will say forwarding off. When you press forwarding off, now all of your calls will come through your desk phone as normal. Forward to coverage allows you to forward your calls to your coverage. Your coverage is normally set to go to your voicemail. So with this phone or this extension that I have in place, if I activated forward to coverage, when somebody would call me directly, it would just send them right to my voicemail. Again, there are other features that you have available to program if you have access to the My Office Suite portal, but an administrative personnel may program these features as well on your behalf. To scroll through your pages that you have of features, you would use the button down here, the toggle button, which allows you to go through those pages. You will see here the little circle, the darkened state, indicates exactly what page you're on, so you're able to scroll through at that time. The last part of the phone that we're going to discuss are the buttons that are at the bottom here. And we'll actually start here on the left-hand side, and the little person icon, that is your contacts. The contacts will contain your internal contacts, and then you also have the ability to build a personal directory. So you have your internal contacts in which you can search for a specific coworker, and then you can also add your own personal contacts in a separate directory. Here you will be able to see your call history. Now with the call history, it does break it down into different sections. If you use the arrow keys here, this will take you to your missed calls list, so you'll be able to see all of your missed calls, but you can also navigate the page and see all of your other call history as well. You have the voicemail button. The voicemail button will allow you to activate your voicemail. The first time that you press this button, it will ask you for a PIN number. The default PIN number is 1234. Once you enter that information, an automated voice will take you through the process of setting up your voicemail recording. Once you go through the process of setting up the recording, it will ask you at the end to change the voicemail PIN number from 1234 to a new 6 to 10 digit code. Once you enter that new 6 to 10 digit code, that is now your new voicemail PIN number going forward. Whenever you have a voicemail message at the top right of the phone, there will be a little light that is lit up to let you know that you have a voicemail message. In order to access your messages, you will press the voicemail button, enter in your voicemail PIN number, and now you will have access to your voicemail messages. If you need to access your messages from one of the other devices that you're not logged into, you still have that ability to do so by pressing the voicemail button and pressing star. What that does is that allows you to enter in your extension number, your voicemail PIN number, and now you have access to your voicemail box. So again, if you're accessing your voicemail from another phone, you press the voicemail button, hit star, put in your extension and your voicemail PIN number, and you'll be able to access your voicemail box. The settings key is here. The settings key allows you to go through and allows you to adjust the brightness, the contrast of the screen. So that's all done through the settings key. You have your volume adjustment capability at the lower left-hand corner of the phone. So while you're using the handset, you may use the arrows to adjust at that point in time. While the phone is in the process of ringing, you can adjust the ringer volume, again, using the key at the bottom. And then the third volume that you're able to adjust is your speakerphone. And the speakerphone is over here to the right side. So while the speakerphone is active, you may adjust that volume. While we're looking at the speakerphone button, this is also where you're able to enable your headset mode as well. So if you have a headset plugged in, you may use the headset mode here by pressing it twice, and that will activate the headset. You have your mute button while you're actively on a call where you can place yourself on mute. At that point, you'll notice next to the button, it will light up red to indicate that it's active, so you know that the person on the other line is unable to hear you, but you are able to hear them. You have your hold button, which allows you to place the caller on hold. In order to regain access to that call, you would just press whichever line appearance that call is currently on. It will activate the call once again, so you can continue the conversation. Here is another way to access your call history. This will take you directly to the outgoing calls that you have made, but again, within this section here, you can access other sections, including the incoming calls as well as missed calls. And last but not least, instead of hanging up the handset, you have the ability to press the end button, and that will end the call as well. So that is a breakdown of the Mitel 6900 series phones. Thank you for joining the training.